What's up, everybody? On today's show, we're taking a look at a light from Weeylite. This is the Weeylite WP35. It's a bicolor light that also has RGB, and it's pretty amazing. In CCT mode, you've got a Kelvin range of 2800 to 6800, which is a pretty nice range. Also, you've got a CRI rating of over 97, which is pretty impressive. And in RGB mode, you've got a full 360-degree color spectrum. Now, in terms of build quality, the build quality of this light is really solid. It's got a super sturdy aluminum design. You know, you see a lot of these RGB panels that are kind of plasticky, and this one is not like that at all. It's metal through and through. Even the barn doors on this light are metal. But at the same time, it's so lightweight that you can actually put this on a handle, carry it around for like run and gun type shooting, and it works great. And speaking of which, it does require 2 NPF batteries to work. Those aren't supplied, but if you're into filmmaking, you probably already have a handful of NPF batteries to begin with. But what I've actually been using this light for is a desk setup. I've been using it when I film YouTube videos inside. And it also makes for like a great gaming light. You know, if you do any type of like live streaming or something, this light actually looks really good and it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. The other thing that I've been using this light for a lot is product photography. You know, I do Amazon Vine, so I have a lot of products that I have to take photos and videos of every single day, and I like that this light is both like bright and has a good Kelvin range, but also has all of those RGB colors. It just makes my job like that much easier. I like using this as a key light, you know, and you've got that pretty decent Kelvin range. Plus, the panel on this is kind of nice and diffused. But also, I like having that RGB function. You know, I like being able to add a splash of color in the background. This light just sort of does it all. And I think one of my absolute favorite aspects of this light is the app. The app is laid out in a way that's easy to understand. Up at the top here, you've got channels and groups. Got this particular light set to channel 1, group A. If you have multiple lights, you know, you can set them up to whatever group and whatever channel you want. Then it actually works really well. For example here, imagine I had multiple lights all set on A and 1. I could turn all of them off all at once, turn them all back on. It makes it so much easier to control specific lights. Anyway, you have like CCT mode. In CCT mode, you can change the Kelvin range by this sliding scale here, or you actually have presets down here like 3000, 4000, so on and so forth. And what's nice too is you can actually alter the magenta and green in the lights. You can add a lot more magenta or a lot more green, and all of this works really well. Also, to get back to the home screen, you just tap those little dots down there at the bottom. And of course, you've got the RGB functions as well. There's this HSL mode. From here, you have this full 360-degree color spectrum. So, I mean, I can choose dark blue, sort of a teal color, green, yellow, orange, red, pink. And you know, you can choose just how bright it is or how dim, and the amount of saturation that it has. You can tune it way down, tune it all the way up. You also have this RGB WY mode here. From here, you can actually really fine tune your light, just getting rid of or adding yellow, adding more blue, taking it away, green, red, so on and so forth. This actually works really well. You can also adjust it based on XY coordinates. This is a super cool feature. I do like this one. I use this a lot as well. And of course, you have a color picker. You can choose your color based on whatever you're pointing the camera at. Ironically, I'm pointing it at the light itself, so it's picking up kind of a self-referential pattern. But yes, if I had something of a different color, here, let's try the table. And of course, you have this section for scene mode, so you can choose like, you can save any scenes that you have created. You can save them to this section here. And that is a look at the app in a nutshell. And of course, you have a ton of lighting effects and scene modes like you would expect. I like the candlelight one, looks very realistic. Got things like fireworks as well. You know, and you can adjust those speed too if you want it faster or slower. All the other ones that you might expect to, like TV, which is very accurate, by the way. That looks like actually having the TV on in the house. Police car, ambulance, fire truck, all those. Got flame too. Lots of different scene modes to choose from. But my favorite addition on these lights is the gel modes. You actually have an entire section that emulates Roscoe and Lee gels, and it works really well. You know, the colors are pretty accurate, and it's so nice to be able to find one of those traditional colors with just one click. You can go through any of these and they all look very accurate. They look great. Go over here to Roscoe if you're familiar with those. Lots here to choose from as well. All super cool. Okay, now to give you an idea of how bright this light actually is, it's the only light that's currently setting this scene. Let me turn it off for a second so you can see what it looks like without it. Okay, and now what's even more interesting is I only have this light set at 1%. You know, we've got 99 more percents we could go up. Like, let's turn it all the way up and the scene just becomes kind of unusable. But that gives you an idea of just how bright it actually is. Oh, by the way, for anyone who's interested too, I'm filming at 1/50th of a second f2.0 at ISO 400. That kind of shows just how versatile this light is, especially if you're into content creation. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love this light so much for filming YouTube videos. It's so small and yet at the same time it's so powerful, and being thin, I'm able to like fit it into like smaller spaces too. For like when I'm filming in my bedroom, because I'm setting this light like up on my desk, there's not a whole lot of room between the wall and the desk. Like originally when I was going to set up that shot, I wanted to try to use like a giant softbox, but it just doesn't fit in that space, whereas this light actually fits really well. But yeah, overall, that's why I've become such a huge fan of this light, and that's why I use it so much. It's such a good, like, affordable option for content creators or photographers or filmmakers. You know, I think this light is currently selling on Amazon for about $115, and I think there's a coupon code along with that too. I'll link to the Amazon link and the link at Viltrox. You have such a bright, powerful light that's so small and easy to carry with you. You've got all those RGB features, you know, and all those scene modes and stuff too. It just is an incredibly versatile light that, I mean, if you're into any type of like photography or content creation or like filmmaking on a budget, this is 100% something that you should definitely check out. Anyway, I think that's all I got for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.